All right, let's get to it.
Okay. So congratulations, guys. You have completed actually making your belt, right? I have taken the Chicago screws out of here. I've taken the buckle out because the final step now is to give this thing some sealer. I've trimmed the end. I've trimmed the tail end all nice. So the next thing we're going to want to do is put some sealer on here to prevent any of the dye that was in this from coming out onto your clothes. Some of these hides, both of these hides that we've been using were factory dyed at the tannery. They still should be probably sealed as well, but especially if any of you dyed using our oil dyes and stuff like that, either on the edge or on the face, those should be sealed in to just prevent leaching into your clothes, especially if you're wearing a white shirt or something like that. This is a good step to do. So we're going to use this stuff here. This is a natural Resolene. I think that's how you say that. This is the stuff we're going to do. You're just going to give it a quick shake. This stuff will make a slight kind of shiny film on top. One thin coat, less is more with this thing, absolutely, because if you put too much on, it will just dry sticky. Okay, so you can use the dauber and just dip it in there. And we're gonna seal in the face of the leather, the top grain, and then also the two edges. So actually, I'm gonna do the edges first. And honestly, I mean, with the beeswax we already have on the edge, this is actually not that big a deal, but it's mostly the face. So we're just gonna zip along these edges real quick. And this stuff dries pretty quick. One super light coat. There we go. Now we're going on the face. And this will actually darken the leather as well, and it kind of makes it kind of that richer color. So if you're not totally in love with the original color of your leather, and you're hoping that it kind of becomes darker and richer, well, this will do that. It's kind of the same idea as putting stain on wood, like an oil stain on wood. Okay, try to keep your brush strokes nice and even. All right, that's it for that. You guys can rinse out the dauber in the sink, because we can use it again. This is an acrylic-based finish. So that's that does the top. And this is almost dry already. We're gonna wait about 5 minutes, and then it's gonna be good to do the next part. So, okay, so we've let that top coat dry for about 5 minutes. We're gonna flip that over now, and we're gonna put some mink oil on the back. Here's the thing with the sealer. This actually does make this, it's got some waterproofing characteristics, and it does some things. It actually seals up the pores of the leather, which is how it prevents the color from actually coming back out of it. It kind of tightens up and seals the pores. That's good for some things, but also leather needs to have some moisture in it, right? We need to sort of give it some nutrition and moisturize the leather. It's like a skin type product. So on the back side, or on the flesh side, this is where we certainly do not want to put the sealer on. However, we are going to put some mink oil on here, and honestly, you guys can use any kind of boot wax. I use this stuff on my work boots called Hubbard's. It's like this greasy stuff I put on my work boots. It moisturizes stuff too. Any of that kind of stuff will work, and you guys can do this periodically every couple years or something if you want. But we're going to put a bit of mink oil on here. I got a brush. We're just going to get a little bit on the edge of my brush, just like that. And we're going to brush this in. And it will make this back look darker too. Just brush it lightly. You don't have to scrub it. And we're going to do this whole thing. And And again, this should not be a heavy coat. This is just barely enough to make it uniformly this darker color. If you put too much on, it's not going to soak in well, it's not going to dry, and you're going to get it all over your pants when you go put it on. Okay, so that's it. Just a nice light coat, uniformly darker in color on the back. And I wouldn't put this on for a couple days. The color's gonna come back to the natural color that it was, or at least pretty close to. Then you know that all of this mink oil is kind of soaked into the leather and moisturized it, and you can put your belt back together, you can put your buckle back on, and you can start wearing it. Right now, you're gonna get kind of greasy pants if you try to put this on now. Okay, so that is it. Your belt strap is complete.